Freddie Gray, Baltimore police officers did nothing wrong. A lawyer for 6 Baltimore police officers says they did nothing wrong after criminal charges were announced against them in the case of Freddie Gray, who died in police custody. Lawyer Michael Davey said the officers at all times acted reasonably and in accordance with their training. Baltimore State Prosecutor Marilyn Mosby earlier said the death of the 25-year-old black man was a homicide and his arrest had been illegal. Gray's death sparked violent protests. But after the charges were announced on Friday afternoon, celebrations broke out across Baltimore. Drivers honked their car horns as people took to the streets with fists raised in triumph. "These charges are an important step in getting justice for Freddie," said Gray's stepfather Richard Shipley. The spontaneous street celebrations turned into a small protest march in the evening, calling for an amnesty for those detained after Monday's rioting. Police said the 53 people were detained on Friday, some for breaking the 2200 hours curfew which is still in force in the city. Grave concerns speaking to reporters, Mr. Davey accused Ms. Mosby of an egregious rush to judgment. Has all of the facts surrounding this case come out in the appropriate form, the officer's lack of wrongdoing will be made abundantly clear. At the scene, Tara McKelvey, BBC News, Baltimore. In Baltimore, change in the way racial issues are being handled is underway, at a lightning-quick pace. For the first time since 1968, the year that Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, National Guard troops were deployed. That was earlier this week. On Friday, the city, or at least a section of the city, West North Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue, an area that had been torched, was starting to heal. The National Guard troops, the same men who were sent here to stop would-be rioters, played with children in front of a burned-out CVS. Someone has drawn the peace sign in white and pink chalk on its brick wall. Plywood has been bolted over the smashed-up doors. A Harriet Tubman poster, commemorating a woman who once helped free slaves, is hung on the wood, fastened with gaffer tape. Is Baltimore starting to heal? How did Freddie Gray die? Who is Prosecutor Marilyn Mosby? Mr. Davey insisted that Gray's injuries did not occur as a result of any action or inaction on the part of these officers. He also said that the defense team had grave concerns about the fairness and integrity of the prosecution of our officers. All 6 officers have been suspended and were charged after they voluntarily presented themselves at the city jail. They have now been released from detention on bail. Ms. Mosby earlier rejected the police union request to step aside and appoint a special prosecutor to handle the case. The prosecutor said the findings of an independent investigation, coupled with the medical examiner's view that the death was a homicide, had led us to believe that we have probable cause to file criminal charges. Ms. Mosby said Gray died as a result of injuries suffered while he was shackled inside a Baltimore police van, but not restrained by a seat belt, as he was legally required to be. She said the officers failed to provide medical aid to Gray after he repeatedly pleaded for help.